So, welcome everyone to this course, Social Media Content Marketing Mastery. Today, we will be focusing into transform your brand through strategic content creation and effective branding and compelling copywriting techniques. Yeah. Why people use social media? The majority of the people use social media for different reasons. For example, Seth Godin coach people they don't buy goods and services, but they buy stories, relationships, and magic. The majority of the social media actually we try to build up relationships, networking. Some people they made it more advanced, tending to be a community leader or the so-called influencers. But again, people don't buy goods and services, but they buy stories. So people they build stories, relationship, and magic. Yeah, this is according to Seth Godin, is a very famous marketer, digital marketer, and has a very deep experience in marketing. So personal connection. So this is the reason why people use social media, personal connection, and maintain existing relationships and stay connected with friends and family. This is the main core of us building a personal connection. New relationships, so you trend to build up new bridges, establish fresh connections, expand professional network, and so on and so on. So also self-expression. So self-expression tends to be sharing your thought, sharing your journey, documenting it, building your creativity, showing your potential that each one of us has, and also building a personal brand identity. Also staying informed. So majority also the people use social media to stay informed, and then a majority of us they don't use anymore TV for a simple reason that is not that much sexy and attractive to see. Rather, we spend a lot of time staying in social media, so stay informed, get updates on topics more relevant to our interests. This can vary from the very first learning marketing, for example, in this case, or design, how to sell your dresses, clothes, fashion, hygiene, and so on and so on. What is content marketing? Yeah, so content marketing basically is we tend to do marketing. Content marketing is a part of marketing, yeah, area. So the content marketing is a strategic approach that focus on creating, distributing value. So we give value relevant enough and consistent marketing to attract and retain well-defined audience. Yeah, so we build value, we create quality, but at the same time we attract and we gain audience that this audience later on will turn to be our very trustworthy audience or fan. Yeah, so according to Joy Policy, content is any information capable of educating, engaging, or entertaining with a very precise objective or goal. Yeah. So content is not only capable to create, to educate, but also to create engagement. Without engagement, you mean that your audience are not very much interested into whatever you're doing, because with engagement, you understand whether your content is effective or not. But this is we will look on it later on. Content formats as include text, blogs, ebooks, images, pictures, infographics, pictures, audio. Majority now there's the new trend of podcasts, sorry, and video. But the majority, the most attractive one are blogs and video. Content marketing success stories. This is a more like a study case to just show you how marketing success story does really create a huge impact. We have Michelin guides. Early in 90s, a pioneer offering free tourist guides to increase automobile demand in France, created a prestigious restaurant rating system still influential today. Yeah. Another one is GoPro UGC strategy. So they basically leverage user-generated content by encouraging customers or audience to share pictures and video and turning user into brand ambassadors. And also Ceres real-time marketing is a beer. Ceres, everyone knows the beer brand, using their news jacking and real-time marketing with a very strong tone, connecting with young audiences through trending topics. So 6 steps for effective content strategy that you need to look at it. Without a strategy, you cannot build content, and this is most of the people has agreed on. The first one is content analysis. So you need to analyze the company characteristic and the competitive landscape. What do you mean by that? So analyze, do your research, check the areas and the niche that you are looking for. And competitive, you need to check on your competitors. Without checking on your competitor, you don't understand the standard and the stake and the quality that you are competing with. Yeah. Another one is target identification. So you need to identify your target. Without identifying your target, you are just guessing. Define specific audience you want to reach with content. And this is exactly comes with content analysis, because you need to do deep research on everything, your competitive landscape, which means your competitors and also your audience you want to reach with content. The other one is the objective definition. So you need to identify your objective, your goal. So here we use this SMART goals. It is a criteria, a specific technical criteria that we use in order to build our objective. First is specific, measurable. So your goal, it should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant enough, and time-based. Yeah. Channel selection. So channel selection, actually this one, it's a little bit 50-50%. You need to choose the distribution platforms that influence content format and production, which means, for example, I have already my target. I already did my research. I already know my competitor. I already built up my smart dashboard. So here I'm already 40% settled. What's the next? The next is the channel. The channel is, maybe I'm using Instagram because I feel that Instagram people are more engaged. I'm coming from a generation of Instagram rather than Facebook, even though Facebook and Meta is the one that is owning everything, but still, Facebook it's has the tendency to focus on seniors. Instagram more like juniors, in sense like people who is around 30, 35, 20, 16, 17, and so on. TikTok, we lower the age stake. People tend between 15, 14, 16, 17, and so on. This is the new trend. So each platform has their own unique formats. For example, Instagram focus on pictures, picture of the quality, aesthetic formats, not just randomly sending picture and posting them, but they focus on aesthetic styles. So this shifts your production and also shifts your type of content that you will propose. Content planning. Content planning is your fifth step, which is you need to create editorial calendar for content creation and distribution. You cannot only rely on your mood, because consistency is the key to beat algorithm. Algorithm, it can be a huge milestone to get over, but with consistency, you can beat it and achieve results. So in this case, content planning, create editorial calendar for content creation and distribution. Usually the tools that you need to have, like for example, Notion, it's widely known for creating editorial calendar. There is a lot of extension that you can link with your own Instagram and Facebook, that they will just publish it on your behalf automatically. Some require subscription, some others did not, so up to you and up to your budget. Yeah. And the last one for the content strategy is the result measurement. So wherever we are doing, we need to measure it to understand whether we are succeeding, or whether we are have a plain growth, or whether we are bleeding. So in this case, result measurement or A/B testing, it's essential. Analyze data to improve future content and marketing. For the newbies and the people who are starting from zero or a very low audience platform, this can be a challenge for them, because you don't have followers, you don't have a lot high engagement, you don't have data that you can use to improve yourself, but still consistency uploading content will hopefully with future to make you get better result and measure it. Yeah. So, building effective branding strategy. Honestly, when I tend to build up a branding strategy, the majority of the time that I do it in this way. So, branding, what is actually the means branding? Branding equips products and services with brand power, creating identity that differentiates you from competitors through distinctive elements. So the branding strategy is basically those characteristics that defines you. Yeah, whether you are using a specific color or so specific voice style or DNA voice that you have, all this stuff are essential in order to do a better architectural branding strategy. Yeah. So the first one is the purpose. So, and then the second one is the mission and the vision. And the third one is your goals. Without this pyramid, your branding, or in case if you don't have this pyramid, you don't have a brand. The purpose, what is the purpose of for me to create a brand? Or what's the meaning of my brand? Without a meaning, I cannot survive in the market, because people, they don't buy products, but they buy the intention. Yeah, and the mission that you are behind it, the vision and the goals. For example, sustainable. If my brand is focused on sustainability, means people will buy my products because they believe for the future of Earth. Sustainable means reduction of waste, means better quality life. That's why they will support you, they will buy your services, and they will buy eventually your products. Strategic pyramid provides foundation for effective branding strategy development. So if you want to develop your strategy, you need to follow and stick to it, this pyramid. Brand strategy essentials. This is the basic brand strategies essentials that you need to look for it. The aim of marketing, according to this quote, is to know and understand the customer so well that the product or service sells itself. So when I build an agency, the first thing that I need to focus on is to understand the people that I'm reaching to so well that when I start proposing a product, it will start selling by itself as it was living by their own. Yeah. Core elements. So the core elements that you need to focus on are USP, so unique selling proposition. So your offer needs to be unique, tailored to that specific ACP or buyer persona. You need to go and consistent brand identity and stakeholder engagement. Higher engagement, higher people are invested into your brand. Lower engagement means no one is giving a damn about your brand, and most probably you are bleeding. Multi-directional communication. You need to diversify your communication. You cannot put all your eggs in one basket, but you need to put them in different. So this is a kind of a test. So in order for you to do it, you need to diversify your communication style. Tone of voice. Tone of voice is key. Each platform is built up with a format and each provides a tone of voice. We have persuasive tone of voice, we have assertive, we have very straightforward. This is according the topic you are touching. The more sensitive a topic is, the more persuasive you need to be. So this is up to you and up to the kind of content that you're proposing. So the character and personality that makes your brand recognizable is the tone of voice. But you need to choose one tone of voice. So if you stick with a persuasive tone of voice, you need to keep it all the time. You cannot change it or switch it according to the moment or according to your mood or according to the kind of service launch. No, you need to keep your tone of voice always because this is what actually defines you. So it defines how you communicate messages to customers in harmony and with brand identity. So this is overall the essentials of brand identity. Then we have LinkedIn branding. LinkedIn branding is pretty much trending nowadays and what we are meaning for. So LinkedIn overall is a platform, Microsoft O platform designed for professional relationship and B2B companies. Before it used to be very much a platform for job seekers only. So you will be finding only posts related to jobs, hirings, job seekers looking for a job, and that's it. And also people who are trendy on just publishing their achievement or switching from one job to another. So just to show the development and the growth, professional growth. But after COVID, LinkedIn has significantly changed its face. Now it's more based on engagement, even though it is a base of almost 1 billion users. Very few percentage are actually active on the platform, which is making it a very good option rather than go to Instagram or Facebook that it pretty much saturated platform and very competitive. So you need to go for ADC. LinkedIn on the other side, you don't have necessarily to go for ADC in order to build followers, create reach, organic reach, and impression, and so on and so on. Even though this will last only for a few years, and then later on it will get saturated, same as Instagram, same for Facebook. Content publishing. So they share work related content, search for jobs, and create targeted ADC, as we said before, and high organic reach. So the content visibility extend to networks of people who interact with posts, and not only that, you can reach out with people with very high profiles that you can start with a business or you can build a partnership and collaboration. Copywriting fundamentals again. So according to this quote of David Ogilvy, this is a very famous marketer who was able to open a hotel with only $500, which is a huge achievement. And he said, when I write an advertisement, I don't want you to tell me you find it creative. I want you to find it so interesting that you buy the product. Yeah. So here we have offline and online copy. So the offline copy, it is more focused on magazine advertisements, packaging text, brochures and flyers, TV and radio commercials. So this is the old copy or the old traditional marketing. With the age of social media, we have the online copy, which is more related to social media posts, email newsletters, website content, blogging, and video scripts. So this is overall about copyright so far, fundamentals, and so on. one thing that you need to focus on is the pyramid, the strategic pyramid, if you are into building a brand or you are studying. And I hope this will create for you, will help you out. The copy strategy and the techniques. We will go and look into copy strategies and technique. We have the AIDA model, so attention, interest, desire, and action. So I build the attention. So that's why we do the hook on the very first lines. So I will drive attention. I create interest in the body. I build up desire, and then I put the CTA or taking action at the end. So whoever is reaching me out, or even if I'm creating a video, we know that the very first seconds matters a lot because you are hooking someone attention to stick to your content and drive interest, drive desire, and then taking eventually action into your landing page, for example, in order to buy your products or selling out your course. PAS techniques. PAS techniques is more related to problem, agitate, solve. So you have a problem, so your brain should focus on resolving problems. We resolve problems. You have a problem, your niche has a problem, you agitate, you create practical solution, and then you find a solution, you resolve them. If you are not able to resolve, it means that you are failing and your brand it's not doing what actually it's supposed to do. So creating an effective copy using the 4 C's. The 4 C's is a very effective marketing technique, which is clear, concise, compelling, and credible. This is the four. You should be clear always, concise, try to be as much short as you can, compelling, and credible. Please do not use AI. AI is ruining content. You can take inspiration from AI, but you cannot use AI as your replacement because still you need to stick with your tone of voice. AI is not able to identify your unique tone of voice. You are the only one who is able to do that. That's why you can take inspiration from AI, redraft it according to your own voice style, and then post it. So always leverage scarcity, social proof, and exclusivity to drive action. Yeah.